Orphans don't wear white. That's for real families. The sentence struck me like an open-handed slap, sharp and public, echoing across the polished bridal boutique on Madison Avenue. 12 strangers turned their heads at once. My fiancé, Andrew, suddenly found the carpet pattern deeply fascinating. And me? I stood frozen inside a $14,000 Vera Wang gown, feeling like I had been pushed back into childhood, back to the little girl who used to press her face against foster home windows, quietly wondering if anyone would ever choose her. But here's what people forget about orphans. We learn how to survive. My name is Claire Hawthorne. I'm 32 years old, and in exactly 47 hours, Andrew's mother, Evelyn Whitmore, was going to learn what happens when you humiliate a woman who signs merger deals worth more than your husband's entire law firm. But let me rewind. I met Andrew 18 months earlier at a charity gala. He was smooth, attentive, and came from what he proudly called old money, the kind of family with summer houses in the Hamptons and ski retreats in Aspen. He never asked many questions about my career. He only knew I worked somewhere in finance. I liked it that way. When you grow up with nothing, you learn quickly that people treat you differently once they know you have something. His mother, Evelyn, disliked me from the start. During our first dinner at their Connecticut estate, she asked about my family. When I calmly explained that I had grown up in foster care, her pleasant smile froze into something stiff and artificial. "How unfortunate," she said. For the rest of the evening, she spoke at length about family legacy, bloodlines, and proper breeding. Andrew apologized later. "She's traditional," he said. "She'll come around." She never did. The bridal appointment was Evelyn's idea. She called it a bonding moment for the women of the family. Andrew's sister, Tabitha, attended with her tight smile and expensive handbag. Aunt Margot commented repeatedly on how brave Andrew was for marrying someone without connections. But Evelyn, however, took control like a conductor leading an orchestra. "Try this one," she said, lifting a cream-colored dress. "White is really meant for brides whose families fill both sides of the aisle. Since you don't have anyone, something less traditional might be more appropriate." I ignored her and chose the white Vera Wang. It was breathtaking. Hand-stitched Italian lace, pearl detailing across the bodice, and a cathedral-length train. When I stepped out, even Tabitha went quiet. That's when Evelyn spoke. "Orphans don't wear white. That's for real families." She said it loudly, loud enough for the entire store to hear. The sales staff froze, an older woman gasped near the veils, and Andrew, the man who was supposed to protect me, said nothing. He stared at the floor. "Andrew?" I said softly. He cleared his throat. "Mom, maybe." "What?" Evelyn interrupted. "I'm helping her. She doesn't understand how society works. Our family has standards. The Whitmore name means something. We can't have wedding photos suggesting she belongs in society when everyone knows she came from nowhere." I looked straight at Andrew. He didn't look back. "Okay," I said. Evelyn blinked. "You're right," I continued calmly. "I don't belong in white." I smiled. The same smile I use in boardrooms when someone thinks I'm powerless. "I'll change." I returned to the dressing room, removed the gown carefully, and put my clothes back on. My hands didn't shake, my breathing stayed steady. I'd survived far worse than Evelyn Whitmore. I'd survived being abandoned at birth, 7 foster homes by age 12, working 3 jobs through college, building a career in an industry that constantly told me I didn't belong. When I came out, I handed the gown to the sales associate, Miranda. Her eyes were glossy. "Thank you for your time," I said politely. "Claire, wait," Andrew said, finally finding his voice. "I'll see you at home," I replied without turning around. That night, Andrew apologized endlessly. His mother didn't mean it. She was stressed. She worried about appearances. He promised things would change. I nodded. I listened. When he fell asleep, I went into my home office and opened my laptop. There was something Andrew and his family didn't know. I wasn't just in finance. I was Claire Hawthorne, CEO and majority shareholder of Hawthorne Capital Group, one of the most powerful private equity firms on Wall Street. We managed over $47 billion in assets. Fortune once called me the silent titan. And one of our pending deals, 8 months in the making, was a $180 million merger. The target? Whitmore and Langley LLP, Andrew's father's firm. At 6:47 a.m. the next morning, I sent one email. Pull out of the Whitmore and Langley LLP merger, effective immediately. By 9 a.m., the financial world was buzzing. By 10 a.m., their stock had fallen 34%. By noon, partners were updating resumes. Later that morning, my assistant knocked. "Miss Hawthorne, Andrew Whitmore's in the lobby. He says it's urgent." "Send him up." Andrew walked into my office and stopped cold. Floor to ceiling windows, Manhattan below, a Basquiat behind my desk, my nameplate, Claire Hawthorne, Chief Executive Officer. "What is this?" he whispered. "My office. Please sit." You're the orphan from nowhere?" I finished calmly. "Yes, also the woman who just withdrew a $180 million deal from your father's firm." His face drained of color. "This will destroy him," he pleaded. "How unfortunate." "I didn't know about any of this." "I was always the same woman. You just didn't think I was worth defending." I removed my engagement ring and placed it on the desk. "The wedding is canceled." Security escorted him out. Minutes later, my assistant messaged me, "Evelyn Whitmore is in the lobby. Send her up." She stormed in until she saw me. "You?" she gasped. "I own this company," I said. Her confidence collapsed. "You're nobody. You're an orphan." "Yes," I agreed, "and also the CEO of a $47 billion firm." She begged, apologized, promised anything. I wanted respect when I had nothing. I don't need apologies now. Security escorted her out. That evening, I stood in my penthouse overlooking Manhattan, wine in hand. A text came from Miranda. "You were the most beautiful bride I've ever seen." 3 months later, I wore white to the Fortune 500 gala. I walked in alone. I left alone. And I felt whole. Today, I fund scholarships for foster youth. I donate millions to the system that raised me. Every Thanksgiving, I hosted dinner for those who have nowhere else to go. We wear whatever colors we want, and we belong.